Hey, what's up guys, it's GekEm here, and today we are doing the Bigger and Better Clarence iceberg off the Clarence cartoon subreddit by Occam's Goon. This is a very old iceberg. It was made like 3 years ago. No one's asking for this really, but I just wanted to make it because I really like the show and I wanted to learn more on it. Book of Velas already did do a Clarence iceberg a few years back, and that's an amazing video which I will have in the description for y'all to check out. But I just really want to do this for myself. I just really like the show. So yeah, that's about it. Let's get started right into it with the surface layer. Funny lines in the word of the day. This entry refers to some Cartoon Network shorts of the show. Funny lines with Clarence and Jeff, word of the day. In Jeff's word of the day, he explains a definition of the word using characters from the show to explain it, while funny lines is exactly what it sounds like, funny lines in between the characters. Shorts. We did go over 2 shorts in the previous entry, but yeah, Clarence has a lot of shorts that we will be getting into some of them in this iceberg. But yeah, there's a lot of shorts that you can find on the YouTube channel. RoboFrog Extreme Unethical Practice. We learned in the first season of episode 7, Jeff's New Toy, there's a show called Supreme Court Squad Extreme, and there is a court case going on between RoboFrog and RoboFrog Extreme. And basically, RoboFrog Extreme has built illegal factories on RoboFrog's land, and that is very unethical. It is pretty funny though. The show's like Transformers if you mixed it with Better Call Saul. So, controversies. The show's creator, Skylar Page, and the season 1 voice of Clarence, was fired from the show after sexual assault allegations against him and his coworkers surfaced. Little Buddy reappearances. The 41st episode in the first season, Little Buddy, Clarence has this Little Buddy doll that he's very attached to. You can see this doll in various other episodes, like the very next episode, Chalmers Santiago, but Clarence just throws the doll aside. Gilman moving. Gilman doesn't really move or talk in the show. You can see him once in the episode Clarence Loves Shoopy. He is running, and in another episode, he is eating a sticker. But besides that, you don't really see him move or talk. He's more of this like weird sentient being of sorts. But yeah, we love Gilman. Set in 1998. We find out the show is set in 1998 after the episode Chad's Giving, where Chad's family films every Thanksgiving they have, and at the end of the episode, the VHS tape is labeled Thanksgiving 1998. Bodhi. This entry refers to the episode Belson's Backpack, where Belson makes a comic out of Aquatopedia Globals, and Clarence finds them and Belson makes them for him because Clarence really likes the story of Bodhi. Bodhi's just kind of like a self-insert for Belson. Comic lore. There are 4 different Clarence spin-off comics and 2 graphic novels. They're basically just episodes in comic form. There's not really much lore about them. It's like, honestly, some of the plots follow similar to some episodes, really, but that's about it. Naming characters after staff. There's 2 characters named after staff members that I could have found, and that's Belson Knowles, named after Nelson Bowles, a storyboarder on the show, and also Keith Mack, named after a producer of the show, who also goes by the same name in the show, Keith Mack. Banned episodes. The 35th episode in Season 1, Straight Illin, was the only episode to be banned in Clarence's run. This episode starts out with Clarence and friends daring Clarence what to do. And Belson, Belson's kind of mean, so he dares Clarence to eat over 500 deviled eggs, turning him into a Last of Us zombie monster. This is the lowest rated episode in Clarence's run and was the only one to be banned and will not be re-airing. That is the end of the surface, so now we're onto the body. Let's go. This is the body of the iceberg. It does get a little more obscure here, so let's go. Dilys is dead. Dilys Wendell is Clarence's grandmother, and she is dead. Not really knowing what caused this, but she is the only confirmed dead character in the entire Clarence show. Clarence dollars scattered throughout the world. A Clarence dollar was a form of currency used in the episode Clarence Millions, and you can see these little dollars scattered out in the background sometimes. Clarence meets a girl trope. It was once said in an interview with Spencer Rothbell that they kept adding girl characters in the show just to take them out, and they kept doing this by accident, and they didn't like doing it, so they stopped later on. Breen's attic. This has only been shown in the show once in the episode Dinner Party, and Clarence and friends decide to go explore Breen's house, and then they end up in the attic, finding all the stuff that Breen's parents take away from him, and they end up falling through the ceiling due to the house being very old. Coogan. In the episode The Eye of a Coogan, Miss Baker has left them a map that is supposed to lead them to the Coogan treasure, but in reality there is no Coogan, but the children do not know this, and they find a random house with a Terry Coogan inside of it, taking her diamond eye and going back to the school. She comes back to the school to retrieve it, but when she leaves, she drops a map out of her eye patch, meaning there might be a Coogan after all. Miss Bernstein. This was Miss Baker's prototype name in the pilot episode. She also had the name Miss Brunette as well before Miss Baker. Belson's father's crimes. It is shown in the episode Company Man. He's being arrested for committing business fraud and money laundering. That's where all their money comes from, I guess. Uncle Grandpa episode. This refers to the original pitch for the Stormy Sleepover special where a tornado would get closer and closer to Aberdale until it eventually gets there. And then it's actually Uncle Grandpa who is trying to teach him a lesson of friendship. That idea was shut down and rewritten, obviously. Damien Super Seductions. Damien is Clarence's mom's ex-boyfriend, and it is established that he is somewhat of a lady killer, but it is found out later that his love is no longer for the ladies and is for the Lord. Clarence Bomb. This refers to Aberdaily Tumblr page where the artist of the show would draw little sketches in art and leave the hashtag Clarence Bomb. Clarence's cut death. Please don't think that I just was lazy or something. I really wanted to find this one because I thought it would just be really silly, but I think I came to the conclusion that it is a joke entry. Like, come on, man. It's a kid's show. Clarence cannot be died. Alright, but that is the end of the body, so let's go on to the lower portion of the iceberg. We're now in the lower part of the iceberg. I hope y'all are enjoying so far. I learned a lot about Clarence through this iceberg, and I hope you guys are learning some new stuff too. Let's get right into it. Werewolves. This entry can mean two things. One, it could be the character Dustin turning into a werewolf at the end of Animal Day, and Spencer Rothbell said this is real and Dustin is a werewolf. Or my personal choice, where a video Dareen Hughes made where it is a fan animation of Clarence turning into a werewolf and biting Jeff and Sumo and turning them into werewolves. And it's very awesome. I'll link that in the description for you. Inconsistent names. This can be referring to two things. One, Miss Baker's name changing like 3 times until it's settled on Miss Baker, or in the episode The Interrogation, the signatures of Jeff, Chelsea, Belson, Clarence, and Percy keep changing in the meatball sauce they're supposed to sign. Nixon and JFK. Richard Nixon has appeared in the show about 3 times, and JFK has been shown in the show about once in Jeff's room. Don't know really why this is an entry. Yeah, they're real. I don't think the show followed a different universe where they never existed, so yeah, they're real. Gilbin is an adult. Gilbin is much older than everyone else. Found out in the episode Gilbin is different, but it's never said how much older. He just has facial hair and everyone else doesn't, so Gilbin is an adult, I guess. Bucky O'Neill colonization of Aberdale. Bucky O'Neill was a real 1800s Arizona politician, but in the Clarence lore, it's said that he traded chicken for the land with the natives, but it doesn't really seem like that. So I'm pretty sure he's a colonizer. Claire Vangelion. I was waiting for this entry. I love Claire Vangelion. It refers to a Tumblr page that crosses over the anime series Neon Genesis Evangelion with Clarence. Amazing World of Gumball cameo. In the Amazing World of Gumball episode, The Boredom, Clarence, and Regular Show, and Uncle Grandpa are all featured as a little cameo shot. Very cool, very awesome. I enjoyed it very much when I was a kid. Non-canon episodes. There are 3 non-canon episodes, Belson's Touch, Jeff's Secret, and Sticky Clarence, over the Garden Wall connections. The cities in both shows have a similar looking layout, and Greg and Wirt, the main characters in Over the Garden Wall, can be seen walking in the background of the episode Little Buddy. Very cool, both amazing shows. That was the lower part of the iceberg. We are now moving on to the bottom of the iceberg. Let's go right to it. Welcome to the bottom of the iceberg. Let's just jump right into it. Intro fulfillments. I believe this is referring to the pilot episode. The intro that is played during the first episode of Clarence is way different for the actual intro, and I think they were just kind of using this as a placeholder. Special outros. Sometimes, depending on the episode, the outro theme will change, but it's only a couple episodes that really do this.
The American dream, stars and stripy bacon, the land of the free refill.
Lost storyboard. The episode Clarence Millions has a few lost storyboards, and so does the episode Rough Riders Elementary. And on the Aberdaily Tumblr page, you can find a few other storyboards as well, but I couldn't find any on a lost episode besides a creepypasta, but that's not really, what we're looking for. Lost songs. On the Aberdaily Tumblr page, Simon Panrucker has posted 102 tracks from the show, including some unreleased ones.
If you got no money, you don't need them, no, you don't need any to have good fun. You really can't pay when you're in an arcade. There's a million other ways you can have a great day.
Season 1 inconsistencies. A lot of mistakes were made in the first season. Obviously, it's the first season. A lot of mistakes happen, but mainly just coloring issues and continuity issues. Old intros. I touched on this earlier, but yeah, the animatic exists. The chronological order. On the Clarence Fanon wiki, which was the only thing I could really find on this, there's a timeline scaling all the way back to 1661, but they also start talking about vampires on that. But yeah, I am the ice cream. In the episode Patience, Clarence meets an ice cream man in his head that says, I'm the ice cream.
I am the ice cream.
The belly. Clarence belly being on most of the title cards. That's about it. Emilio and Victor and Valentino. Emilio is a side character and also is a character in another Cartoon Network show, Victor and Valentino. Birthday cult. I couldn't find anything on this one besides the one episode called Birthday where Clarence invited all his friends over for a birthday party. But I don't know, that doesn't really seem cult-like to me. It's just kind of they're having a birthday. That was the bottom of the iceberg. We are now moving on into the depths. Nothing much to say. Let's just get right to it. What's up, guys? We are now on the deeper part of the iceberg, and I hope you guys are enjoying so far. So let's just get it. Pilot redubs. The pilot voices are different than they were in the normal show, so they had to dub them over in the pilot. Tuckered Boy True Events. In the episode Tuckered Boys, we can't really see what they're actually doing for their hallucinating because they are very sleep deprived, so we cannot actually see what's really happening, so there's some things we're missing out on. Video Store is the epilogue. I don't know. I tried researching this. I watched the episode. I don't know how it would be an epilogue to just kind of get movies and hang out with the dude from Home Movies, so I don't know. I guess maybe an epilogue of sorts. Jeremy is Balance's son. Jeremy is a character that has appeared in the episode In Dreams, and Balance is a character from the Invisible Circus, and apparently Jeremy is his kid. So the other members of the Invisible Circus. We just talked about one of the members, Balance, in the previous entry, but there's also Beth, Chumo, and one character that kind of looks like Belson, but he's made of mud. And there's also like a Chad kind of creature, but he's not Chad. Lost Josh arc. When we meet the character Joshua, he has a scar on his face, and it's not known why, but he does not like Sumo, so it can be inferred that Sumo gave him that scar. The Juice. I think this is referring to the Capture the Flag episodes where the kids all fight over juice. Or this could somehow be a reference to the Tupac movie. Don't know. Maybe Clarence is Tupac. Papa Mariano is an eldritch being. I don't even know what to say on this one, but it's true. It's actually not confirmed, obviously, if he is an eldritch being, but I can believe it. Back to School. Back to School was a short made by Simon D. Rocco when he was an intern for Cartoon Network UK. And yeah, it's a really cool short, really cool animation style. I'll have that linked in the description for y'all to watch. Jeff and Amy's relationship. In the show, Jeff has relations with both Amy's. Open your mind. Open your mind is actually a quote from The Amazing World of Gumball.
Open your mind. Open your mind.
And Clarence does reference this.
Open your mind.
What are you doing, man?
I saw it on TV. Open your mind.
That was the depths. We are now moving on to the deeper depths. I hope you guys are learning a lot about Clarence as I was. We only got about 3 layers left, so let's just go. Welcome to the depths. We are in the very, very dark depths. It is cold. Please hand me a jacket. Pilot expansion and Dolus are the original finales. Maybe because they are seen old in the pilot expansion, this is how they would end up. But I couldn't really find on anything in Dolus lining up. Maybe because they're like different versions and maybe they'll wind out. I don't know. I couldn't find much. Sorry. Incorrect thumbnails and descriptions. I think this is referring to Hulu. On the title card and the descriptions of some episodes, it will be wrong and for other episodes. So I think that's what this is referring to. 4th and 6th seasons. This is referring to how HBO Max and Amazon sort episodes. It's merely just an error. In Dream Hypermeta. This is referred to how we don't know what was real and what wasn't real in the episode In Dreams. Balance only exists in the dream realm. This ties into the hypermeta dream entry because we don't know if Balance is real or not, so he might just live there. 2017 graffiti. I don't know. I saw some people make graffiti fan art on Clarence. That's all I could really find. The Ratman. In the episode Spooky Boo, it is revealed that the Ratman is real and he does exist. This is real. Or maybe it's Ratman from GTA 4. We don't know. Jeff screaming. Jeff screams. He screams a lot. Arizona Psycho. This is referring to the American Psycho reference in the episode Average Jeff. So yeah, Jeff is basically just Patrick Bateman Sigma.
I live on Salem Lane in Aberdale, Arizona. My name is Jeff Randall. I'm in the 4th grade. I have my own set of tastes.
Birding with Guyler's Importance. This is a short and nothing really important happens besides you can see a pigeon holding a Clarence dollar. That's kind of important. Clarence commentary tracks. Spencer Rothbell said in an interview he'd like to do Clarence commentary tracks one day, but that's all I could really find. That was the deeper depths. Now we are into the deepest depths, and I know I am so creative in naming these layers. Welcome to the deepest depths. I know, I'm sorry, these layers are getting a little short, but a lot of these entries don't really have too much info on them. Maybe I'm just not the greatest researcher, but let's go into the deepest depths. Goldfish Follies original concept. The episode Goldfish Follies was deemed too dark to be animated in the show's normal style, so it was changed to more of a rubber hose kind of one, where Clarence keeps a fish in his mouth all day and it almost dies, so I guess too dark for kids. Deeper Evangelion references. Maybe it's starting to tie back into Clairevangelion, but I'm not sure, but there's a Neon Genesis Evangelion reference in Craig of the Creek, so... Stormy Sleepover original ending. Like I said earlier, the original ending of Stormy Sleepover was going to be a crossover between Clarence and Uncle Grandpa, but that did not happen. So, nope. Political ideologies. As obviously seen in the show multiple times, Clarence pushes an alt-right ideology, and I'm lying. I don't know. I couldn't find anything really on this besides maybe some politic jokes and Clarence runs for president, but I don't know. Clarence Vaporwave. This one I had no clue about, and I'm so happy I found it, but it's a very weird Cartoon Network edit on their YouTube channel where it's like a weird vaporwave edit of Clarence. Very funny. I'll put it in the description. Check it out. Very, very worth watching. And that was the deepest depths. We are now moving on to the void layer. Thank you for sticking around if you have. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about this show. So let's go. Yeah, we made it. We are at the bottom of the iceberg, very last layer. If you guys are even listening to my voice right now, thanks for sticking around. This is the first video I ever fully edited and voiced over myself. And I had a pretty fun time while making it. I really like Clarence, one of my favorite shows, always been. But enough of me yapping, let's get right to it. Andrew Jackson is a cannibal. Look it up. In the episode Dollar Hunt, the character Mala Kevin finds a $20 bill from the Dollar Hunt and screams, "Andrew Jackson is a cannibal. Look it up," and then eats the money.
Andrew Jackson was a cannibal! Look it up!
Season 1, episode 96. The creator of the iceberg did say this was a joke entry, but it's basically just Stormy Sleepover Part 2. Clarence still airing new episodes. No. Third Clarence voice. I couldn't find anything on this. Maybe it's referring to like a dub, or maybe they were looking into a third voice. Maybe Spencer Rothbell was trying to step down, but sorry, couldn't really find anything on this one. Clarence Saved the Day lore. This was a point-and-click flash game on the Cartoon Network website where Clarence goes around Aberdale trying to get his mom a birthday gift. That's about the most lore that gets. Clarence is a Christ-like figure. This can mean two things, I think. One, that Clarence, in the episode Capture the Flag, he is kind of just like a Christ-like figure. He frees all people out of jail. He wishes for peace and love. Or two, he's just like kind of like can make anyone be his friend and kind of follow him around. It's all season 1. I think this is a theory on how the show never really, like, no time passes by. So it could just be all season 1. Why Duncan Bambi? There's a character, his name is Duncan Bambi, and he's legit just named after Bambi, the Disney movie, and Dunkin' Donuts. Lonely Lonnie murders. In the short Lonely Lonnie, Jeff plays a prank on Clarence and Sumo and tells them about a horror story about Lonely Lonnie, a baby who was lured in the woods and murdered. And they try summoning her, but it's just a prank. Jeff just plays a prank on the both of them. Gestapo Girl. It's shown in the episode Jeff Wins that Jeff has been participating in a cook-off ever since he was a child, but would always back out before the testing. So Clarence helps Jeff learn how to participate in the cook-off and have fun while cooking. But the dish they make is almost radioactive, and they swap the name tags with Gestapo Gale, getting her arrested by the police. River Superior. In the pilot episode, Clarence and Jeff are playing a game show, and the answer to the question asked is Lake Superior, but Clarence answers the question as a River Superior.
What is Lake Superior?
What is a river superior?
This is the last entry of the iceberg, so, let's just get right to it. Clairevangelion Revival Series. I'm kind of sorry that we're ending this on a weak note, but I couldn't find anything on this being true, but it would be really cool if Clairevangelion was like a real show and they brought it back with the original animators, but that'd be cool, that'd be funny. That's never gonna happen. And that was the entirety of the Bigger and Better Clarence Iceberg by Occam's Goon. Thank you again for making that. I know the iceberg's a little old, and icebergs themselves are a little old, but hey, I just wanted to make it, have a great time making it. I am going to stray away from making icebergs in the future, not really make it my whole thing, but if you guys are watching this, glad you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe, comment if you want. I am out. I have been GekEm. Thank you for sticking around.